We actually loved our life in North America, living on the road in our school bus, seeing some beautiful places with our baby girl. The life we dream of, and we worked hard to get it. But then, changes.
We're having another baby!
Pregnant again. Sold our bus.
Bye!
Said our goodbyes. Said our hellos.
Papa's here!
And now we officially moved here to Japan. I could tell you that we came here because of the usual reasons why everyone comes to live in Japan. The culture, the people, the food, quality of life. But for us, there are two much deeper and personal reasons why we came to Japan. And the first reason is about reconnection. And to explain, I have to tell the life story of my best friend and life partner. Kaori was born on a small island in the Pacific Ocean called Saipan. Her mother from the Philippines and her dad from Japan ended up falling in love, getting married, and giving birth to a Kaori. Unfortunately, when she was only 2 years old, they got divorced, and her father moved back to Japan, losing all connections with them and not to be seen again. Her mother then starts a new relationship, and looking for new beginnings, they decided to move to the United States.
I love you too.
When was the first time that in your head, oh, my father is not here?
I always thought my father was there. I grew up thinking that my brother's father was my father, and I didn't learn until later that he wasn't my biological father.
So when did you find out he was your stepdad?
So this is a very distinct memory for me. And we're sitting in the bathroom. My mom's pregnant, and I'm sitting on my daddy's lap, and he's crying. So I remember sitting in his lap and wiping his tears and asking him. Yeah, now I'm gonna cry.
I didn't know this.
But yeah, I remember, I love this story, so I thought you knew, but I remember sitting in his lap and asking Daddy, what's wrong? And he said, I love you so much, and I don't want you to think of me any differently. And what was vivid for me is I'm sitting in his lap, and I remember my mom standing behind him with her hand on his shoulder, supporting him and letting him be the one to tell me.
Oh, he told you.
He's the one who told me.
Wow.
The way he said it to me was, he said, I love you very much, and I don't want you to think of me any differently, but I want you to know that I'm not your real daddy, or something like that is the way I remember it. And all I remember, and looking at his face and wiping his tears and telling him, it's okay, Daddy, I still love you. Just promise me I'll be the flower girl at your wedding.
Oh my God.
And they laughed, and life was good.
You don't even remember your early memories with Papa Yama.
I don't have any memories with Papa Yama.
Oh wow. What age did you start getting curious to find out more about your biological father and just kind of meet him?
Never. I never wanted to meet him. I knew that we couldn't find him, so if he didn't want anything to do with us, I didn't want anything to do with him, and I didn't need him anyway. My family was perfect. I'm complete. I have my brother, I have my mom, I have my dad, me. We're a family of 4. There's nothing missing. I kept getting this friend request from someone named Yuki Yamamoto, and I kept just denying it. The request kept coming up. Next thing I know, I have friends who are telling me that Yuki Yamamoto is trying to reach me. I finally accept her message and find out that Yuki Yamamoto is my sister. So we had gone back and forth. I did hear from her. I find out she's my only sibling. I met my sister for the first time. She was in New Jersey at the time. I flew out to meet her, and it was just the beginning of a beautiful new life that I know wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for her reaching out to me. So thank you, Yuki. And a year later, we flew to Japan together to meet Papa Yama for the first time. I remember feeling so small and afraid and following in her shadow because I didn't know how to be around him I didn't know how to talk to him. I was like, does he speak English? When I meet him, do I bow? Do I shake his hand? Do I hug him? Like, what kind of guy is he? And I come to find out that he's typical Japanese man and still is. When I met him, so nervous, I didn't know what to do, but he just took my luggage and rolled it away to the rental car, and we just followed him. And he's still the same way, but he shows his love in a different way, I'm learning. But he just is not a man of words, more of an acts of service kind of guy. So he actually came to meet my mom for the first time in 30 years to help care for her during her battle with cancer. And he was there with us, helping care for her till she took her last breath. It was a really healing time for me to be able to live with both my mom and dad for the first time in my adulthood. And since mommy's not around, my mission is to spend time with our family while we have them. And Papayama's been such a healing aspect of my journey. And I want my girls to be able to experience him too. So Japan just made sense to get connected to my Japanese side and to continue this reconnection with Papayama.
Cody's reason is one of reconnection. For me, it's all about finding connection, because for many years I wanted to come and explore Japan. And my curiosity came from being born in Brazil, a country that is totally different than Japan. Just to give a few examples, language. Language is a good representation of how the country actually is. So the Japanese, every syllable is actually the same length, making the language very strict and rigid, kind of like how I see Japan operating, very organized. Now take, for example, Português. O português é bem fluido. Você fala como se estivesse cantando, você fala com as suas mãos e quase com o seu corpo todo. Totally different, the opposite, than the Japanese is. To me, it was very interesting because the Brazilian people are like that. They are very open and fluid. A second example I can give is ethnically. Japan is very homogeneous, so everybody kind of looks the same. I know it may sound a little bit stereotypical, but once you're here and you see people walking by, and especially everybody's wearing masks, you're like, oh my God, I see this person already maybe 2 or 3 times today, but it's not. Now compared to Brazil, which we have the whole spectrum, we got people looking like me, more kind of like a native Brazilian, then the people like super dark skinned because we had a lot of African slaves brought in during the colonization. And you have the white, blue eyes, blonde hair because of a lot of Europeans came. And we also have a lot of Asian looking people because a lot of Japanese moved to Brazil in the early 1900s to work in agriculture in the fields in Brazil, and they stay there. And a couple fun facts: Brazil has the most Japanese people living outside of Japan, and we have the largest population of African descent people outside of Africa. Originally I thought it was United States, but Brazil is number 1, United States is number 2. If you don't know, now you know. Another reason why we decided to come to Japan was for financial reasons. Back in 2024, when we had our first baby in Florida, we realized how much does it actually cost to birth a baby in the United States. And the birth was actually the best we could possibly ask for. We did most of the labor at home, and we got to the hospital only at 3 a.m. and our baby was born at 4:37. So in less than 2 hours, with no epidural, no medication, nothing, and the bill was $25,000. We couldn't afford if we didn't have insurance. And after we had our first baby in 2024, we quit our job. So then our insurance was a very bad insurance because it was very cheap. And we couldn't think of to deliver another baby in the United States. We probably wouldn't be able to afford. So that's when the idea of coming to Japan was actually a perfect idea. We found out from Papayama that here not only healthcare is free, but they actually help you a lot financially with any cost of hospital. Depending on what kind of hospital you decide to go and what kind of birth you have, is basically free. And now that we are here, the second thing that it's great that we're finding out is like the cost of living here is way cheaper than the United States. So yeah, we've only been here for a couple months, but for me, I'm already feeling like we did the right choice to come. And now the goal is just to learn the language so we can connect with more people and really learn the history and the culture of Japan, and possibly get a job too, because we need to support ourselves, but also contribute with society here, since we're planning to not only have our baby here in Japan, but also stay here for maybe a couple of years, 2 or 3 years. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video of today. And on the next episode, we're gonna be doing a tour of our apartment in Japan. So stay tuned for that. Thank you again for joining us. And I'm gonna leave you with this beautiful view of the countryside of Japan.